Liverpool 3, Sheffield United 1. A much more difficult night at Anfield than a lot of us were expecting, but Liverpool get the job done nonetheless, and they respond to both title rivals Arsenal and Manchester City. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around last night's 3-1 victory for Liverpool against Sheffield United. It's the not so instant match reaction, this one, to Liverpool's big win over relegation candidate Sheffield United in what should have been realistically a formality of a win for Liverpool. Turned out to be a bit more difficult than a lot of us were expecting, but goals from Darwin Núñez, Alexis McAllister and Cody Gakpo really put Sheffield United to the sword last night and ensured that Jurgen Klopp's side returned to the top of the table after, of course, Arsenal leapfrogged them with a win 24 hours before their own. We're going to be talking about Liverpool's game against Sheffield United, what it means for the title race going forward and everything else in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. And of course, get involved in the comment section. Let me know about your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it about last night's game between Liverpool and Sheffield United and the title race. All of that good stuff I'm sure will make for interesting and great reading down below in the comment section. So please do get involved down there. Let's get on with the video though. Let's talk Liverpool, title race, Sheffield United and everything else in between. Realistically, like I say, this was meant to be a formality of a win for Liverpool. I think without being too disrespectful to Sheffield United, this is the game that Liverpool should have won. We were at home. We're obviously chasing a Premier League title. Sheffield United are so poor. They're relegation candidates. They're relegation fodder at this point. They're pretty much down without mathematically being completely down as of right now. But at the same time, you can never take anything for granted, and you should never take anything for granted. And that was obviously the kind of message going into this game. If we were anything less than professional, if we were anything less than 100% on it, we were going to slip up. And to be fair, we weren't exactly 100% on it, but at the same time, we still had enough quality and enough about us professionally that we actually did go on to put the game to bed very late on. Should have put the game to bed very early on, earlier than what we actually did, but, you know, at the same time, a win is a win, and it's not exactly sustainable, in my opinion. We've got 8 more of these kinds of finals to go between now and the end of the season, in which we hold the advantage as of right now, but there are still some tough games to come. Tough games including, of course, Sunday's game against Manchester United. The Merseyside derby's coming up. Craven Cottage awaits when we play Fulham. Tottenham, of course. There are some really tough games that are coming up within our running that are going to be a bit awkward for Liverpool to handle. And if we're not at our best and we're playing a little bit like this, it's going to make for a nervy atmosphere. It's going to make for a nervy time watching. And last night, for a little bit, it made for that nervy time watching. Because when the game went to 1-1, it was kind of a little bit awkward. I know there was still plenty of time left to go. I think there was about half an hour left to go. But even so, it still didn't make for the most comfortable of viewings. And even though some of us were quite confident that maybe Liverpool were going to go on and find the winning goal in the end, it still doesn't exactly fill you with much confidence that obviously your team went down to 1-1. Particularly when the likes of Manchester City and of course Arsenal have absolutely wiped the floor with Sheffield United in the past, with all due respect. But no, Liverpool managed to get the job done in the end. It wasn't exactly plain and smooth sailing, like I say. We had to survive a few nervy moments, none more so than in the opening 30 seconds of the game. Keenan Kelleher once again coming out trumps to thwart a very good effort on goal from Sheffield United. Fantastic goalkeeping from the stand-in to Alisson Becker, of course. But, you know, dare I say that maybe even Alisson's position upon his return may be under threat with the way that Kelleher has been playing. It would be disrespectful to say that Alisson is going to go straight back into the team, in my opinion, given the way that Kelleher has performed for us during his absence. So, fantastic stuff from him. And then Liverpool get the opening goal of the game, and it's a bit fortuitous, admittedly, but it's also poor goalkeeping. Darwin Núñez closes down the Sheffield United goalkeeper as he's making a clearance. The ball rebounds off of Núñez and bounces into the back of an empty net. Fantastic work from Darwin Núñez. Fantastic work rate from Darwin Núñez, and it's a fortuitous goal. But you know what? The kind of unfortunate ones that he hasn't scored this season, where he's probably deserved to actually get a goal in, he kind of needed that bit of luck as well. So I guess the luck kind of balanced out a little bit in a weird way in this one, but at the same time, fair play to him for chasing down the goalkeeper in that kind of aspect and making the goalkeeper forcing the goalkeeper into a mistake. So you know what? Fantastic from work rate from Núñez. Not the best goal you're going to see. It's not going to be a Puskas Award winner, but still a very good goal and a very important goal at that to break the deadlock. And once again, Núñez is the catalyst to that. And once again, Núñez gets another goal to his name, another goal contribution to his name. And of course, another big goal at that. It's not like he's stat padding with scoring the 4-4 fifth goal in a 4 or 5-0 win. He actually broke the deadlock here. So another big goal for Darwin freaking Núñez. And then you're thinking, right, go on, dominate the game, get more goals, get that goal difference back, because obviously at this moment in time, Arsenal hold the advantage when it comes to goal difference. Absolutely put Sheffield United to the sword, get a few goals, reclaim some of that goal difference back, and start working on that particular aspect of your game. Instead, Liverpool dominate, but they don't really... They're lacking a killer edge up front. Salah goes close a few times. He forces a few good saves from the Sheffield United goalkeeper. And then, in the second half, with 15 minutes or so gone, Sheffield United equalise from pretty much nowhere. It's a deep cross. It's a header back across goal, and it ricochets off of Conor Bradley and bounces in. It's a free own goal. It's a comical own goal. But it gives Sheffield United hope that maybe they can hold on to something and cling on to something in this game. And obviously it means that Liverpool have to really step up their game now. They really have to start being clinical in the final third if they want to avoid any sort of humiliating or embarrassing dropping of points. That will obviously give the advantage to their rivals. And Liverpool did. And I would expect nothing less. If this was maybe away from home, I would probably be a little bit even more terrified that we wouldn't have got the win yesterday. But I was a little bit more confident with it being at home, but I was still somewhat a bit cautious at the same time. Liverpool eventually did go 2-1 up. And it's that man again. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear the number 10 for Liverpool. Alexis freaking McAllister. Alexis McAllister. I am the only downside to this is that I am running out of superlatives and running out of ways to praise this man for his performances in recent weeks. This guy has really dragged Liverpool over the line in a lot of ways. Maybe not just in terms of the goals and assists that he's got in recent games, but just in terms of his overall performances. This guy is phenomenal. This guy, for 35 million, and I get it was a release clause, so it's not exactly like it was the best piece of business. But you know what? For 35 million, this guy is phenomenal. This guy is an absolute steal for Liverpool Football Club. And it's just another all-round quality player that we have right now. I think that's double figures in terms of goal contributions or something along them lines. I'll have to double check those figures. But for a Jurgen Klopp midfielder, that's pretty much unheard of, because Liverpool's midfield normally is the work rate, it's the heartbeat, it's the foundation of what Jurgen Klopp bases his philosophy on. They're not normally there to get goals and assists. But yet here's McAllister, who's doing all of the work rate and getting important goals and assists to add to his game as well. This guy is simply phenomenal. This guy's an absolute steal. And last night's goal, an absolute thunderbolt into the top corner. A very Gerrard-esque moment by the Argentine number 10 of Liverpool. It was perfect, and it was an incredible moment in which we absolutely needed it. The roof came off Anfield. The players were absolutely on it from that point, and the crowd was on it. And then you're just thinking, right, just kill the game off. Just kill the game off, and they did so. Andy Robertson's introduction cannot also be overlooked. Absolutely brilliant when he came on, and of course he sets up the third and final goal for Cody Gakpo. A lovely cross, and Gakpo with a lovely cushion header. I've been very critical of Gakpo in recent weeks, I'll admit that. But he showed absolute killer instinct there, just to guide that ball into the bottom corner, into the back of the net. And well played, Cody Gakpo. I know that obviously his stats and for the minutes that he's played seem to be pretty okay for a guy that's been obviously in and out and not really a main starter in this squad. And I know that I have been critical of his finishing in recent weeks. But yeah, I think that goal will do him the world of confidence after obviously what has been a few weeks of very critical analysis from not just myself but other Liverpool fans alike. So fair play to him for rising through that. Still have my question marks over him, but at the same time, if he's constantly doing that, it will put my fears and criticism to bed very, very, very quickly. Liverpool see the game off. Liverpool get the 3 points. It's a massive 3 points. That is, again, all about the pressing of Liverpool's midfield. It's all about Alexis McAllister being freaking amazing. The pressing of Dominic Szoboszlai as well was worth it. Curtis Jones, his return cannot also be overlooked as well. That might be a big return for Liverpool going forward. Ryan Gravenberch still looks a little bit off the pace, in all honesty. It's I don't want to say it's becoming an issue, but obviously with him just returning from injury, maybe I can let this one slide a little bit. Conor Bradley continues to get more experience, more minutes. Van Dijk's still solid. Kelleher is still incredible. Only had to pick the ball out the back of his net, really, other than make one or two saves, which were very, very good. But again, like I say, for him, I don't think Alisson walked straight back into his spot, to be honest. I think that it could be a bit more contested than what we originally thought it would be. But it will be interesting to see how that one would go if Alisson is to return very, very soon. All round, a solid performance, a very good performance, and I am very happy. Liverpool respond to both Manchester City and Arsenal, who had both won 24 hours before Liverpool had played. So it was a big, big thing to obviously do that. And again, this weekend, Liverpool have to respond to both of them again. They play later, they play on the Sunday rather than both teams that play on the Saturday. They've obviously got, in my opinion, a difficult time against Manchester United. I know that obviously United absolutely bottled it last night in obviously what was an incredible 7-goal thriller, ending 4-3 to Chelsea. But at the same time, I personally do believe that we will not see that kind of Manchester United performance on Sunday. I think the crowd will be really up for it. I think that United will probably feed off of that energy of the crowd, and they probably will turn up in this one-off game again before the end of the season, similarly to what they did in the FA Cup. I'm obviously praying that United are broken and battered from last night's 4-3 defeat. I'm hoping that they'll take that sort of loser mentality into this game on Sunday, but I just have a sneaky feeling that they're going to be a bit more on it than what we're expecting. We have to be sharp. We have to be on it right from the first whistle to the last. We have to play to the occasion. We have to play against the occasion, shall we say, for Manchester United. This is, after all, going to be a game in which they're going to look at and go, right, ignore what's happened against Chelsea, ignore what happened against Brentford. We've got to go at these, and we've got to obviously attempt to thwart their season. We've got to attempt to put a massive dent in their title charge. So it's going to be big in terms of both aspects of Liverpool trying to manage the occasion and obviously Manchester United attempting to sort of put recent fears to rest and obviously to try and hurt a rival. Their fans would love it. Their fans would go back on a lot of their words that they've been saying over the past week or so on that particular score, if they can just put a dent in their season. It won't obviously help United's season in any way, shape or form. I think they're done out here in terms of maybe Champions League qualification, although I did say that they had a glimmer of hope, but dropping 5 points out of their opening 2 games obviously wasn't going to help them. But at the same time, if they can obviously hurt Liverpool's season, that would be just as much of a trophy for them this season as anything else. So yeah, massive game for United, this one. Massive game for Liverpool. Arsenal take on Brighton, of course, so that's going to be big for them. That could be a very awkward game for Arsenal, but one that I would imagine they navigate through with flying colours and get the 3 points that they desperately need by hook or by crook. And as for Manchester City, look, they've got Crystal Palace. As much as Palace have been a bit of a bogey side for them in recent years, I can't see them having much issue this time around in putting Oliver Glasner's Crystal Palace to the sword and getting a big win for Pep Guardiola's side. 3 points on to Sunday. Massive game. Cannot wait for it in a lot of ways, but also I'm a little bit cautious again. I am a little bit cautious because of what obviously has recently happened, but I can't fault last night. Like I say, Alexis McAllister is simply phenomenal. Simply phenomenal, and for 35 million is an absolute steal. That's pretty much the bottom line of this video and of last night. It was a formality win for Liverpool that should have been a bit more comfortable, but Liverpool get the job done nonetheless. 3-1 against Sheffield United. 3 points, back at the top of the table thanks to goals from Darwin Núñez, a thunderbolt from Alexis McAllister, and Cody Gakpo rounding off the performance and the victory. And there you have it. These are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of last night's performance from Liverpool? What do you make from the overall scoreline? What do you make of Liverpool going back on top, the title race, and everything else in between? I would love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for great and interesting reading, I'm sure, down below in the comment section. So let me know about all of that from you people. Would love to hear from you all. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another not so instant match reaction, I guess you could say. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.